Hello everyone, my name is Wyatt Davenport, and today I want to talk about rear seat safety. So who thinks about rear seat safety? Probably no one. But by the end of my speech today, you will. In 2019, I was a rear seat passenger sitting behind my mom while my dad was driving. We were just going a short distance, not going very fast, maybe 35 miles an hour. As my dad changed lanes, the car in front of him stopped and bam, we collided. The impact was so hard, it caused my contacts to pop out of my eyes. Over the years, a lot of research has been done about the safety of cars, especially in the front seat area. There are airbags that surround you and warning sounds that remind you to put on your seatbelt, of course. However, currently these safety features do not apply to the back seat area of cars in the United States. As a driver, a backseat passenger, and a person who has been in a serious auto accident, I was amazed to learn that rear seat warning systems have been available for about a decade. If there had been a rear seat belt warning system in my dad's truck, I probably would have worn my seatbelt. The U.S. Congress needs to refocus their attention on rear seat safety instead of cars that squeak loudly and claim to drive themselves. Rear seat safety regulations need to be updated and implemented. I want everyone to understand my proposal. I will talk about why rear seat safety has not been updated, introducing why political agendas can affect car safety. Secondly, I will share with you what is possible in the future for rear seat safety. And finally, I will go into solutions on a political and personal level. According to the Department of Transportation, it has been 10 years since the Moving Ahead for Progress in the 21st Century Act of 2012 ordered the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to update and require rear seat warning systems for all new cars manufactured. Obviously, this has not happened. Instead, the National Highway Traffic Administration conducted an in-depth survey and a lot of research into the mandate. What they found out was that rear seat detection was both technical and costly. This is because many people use their back seats to carry groceries, weighted items, and have their pets in the back seat, and don't want false alarms triggered. This concurs with the results from my audience survey in which I asked, as a driver, how would you feel if you had a continuous backseat false alarm chimed? 57 stated that they would find this very annoying. 47 stated they would just deal with it. Another survey was conducted to find out why people use their front seat belts more often than they use their rear seat belts. The survey was conducted in 2018 by Jeremiah and Wiest, who are senior researchers for the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety. These researchers found out that 91% of the people who ride in the front seat wear their seatbelts, whereas only 72% of the people who ride in the back seat wear theirs. The research stated the most common reason for the difference is because people believe they are safer in the back seat. In truth, you are not safer, but increase the rate of fatality of the driver by 137% by becoming a human projectile. In my survey of the audience, I asked, as a rear seat passenger, would you put your seatbelt on if an alarm warning chime alerted the driver? 100% reported yes. The political atmosphere can also affect safety updates and rules for cars. According to Ian Duncan from the Washington Post, Congress moves at a slow pace. He states in his 2019 article that much of the slow pace is due to several reasons. One of those reasons is that the squeaky wheel gets oiled first, such as cars that drive themselves. Another issue is that whoever is running Congress dictates who gets placed in front of the Senate. Funding is also problematic since the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration only has 28 engineering positions, and some of them still need to be filled. Today we've addressed many of the barriers as to why rear seat safety has not been updated. Excuse me. Let me turn your attention to what is possible for backseat safety and looking at global health for car safety. Keith Berry from Consumer reports that one of the reasons the backseat safety is not up to par is the National Traffic Safety Administration's car assessment program. And crash tests are more focused on front seat safety than back seat. In the same article, Berry points out that Europe's car assessment programs are more intensive and extensive to evaluate rear seat safety. The outcome is that more cars sold in Europe are equipped with rear seat safety innovations such as warning alarms and airbags. The Washington Post quotes Jason Levine, the executive director of the Center for Auto Safety, as far as recognizing the need for advanced safety features to be standard and not luxury items. Europe appears to be eons ahead. According to data from the World Health Organization, the UK reports that over 90% of rear seat passengers wear their seatbelts, whereas the rate drops significantly to 74.8% for the US. Rear seatbelt use and safety research is lacking and behind other countries. It is blatantly clear that the US needs to increase its testing for advanced rear seat safety. The solution to this issue is that the US Congress needs to refocus its attention towards rear seat safety and not just oiling the squeaky wheel. As a society with millions of drivers and backseat passengers, refocusing Congress's attention towards more safety can be achieved through political and social means. On the political level, the first thing you can do is write to Mark DeSanter, who is Contra Costa's district representative, and request more funding for the National Traffic Safety Administration so they can hire more technical engineers and conduct further research into car safety. The more intensive research conducted into rear seat safety, the more lives can be saved. Remember, the squeaky wheel gets oiled. A National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is the guardian of millions of cars put out on the road, including their funding to further research into car safety standards only saves lives. The second thing you can do is request that all new cars manufactured come with rear seat safety warning systems and advanced innovations, rather than being options. On a more personal level, we should all be more mindful when getting into our cars. If you have friends and passengers who don't put on their seatbelts, tell them to do so. Who knows? It might just save their lives one day. Today we've looked at why people in the back seat use their seatbelts less than those in the front seat. Yet there is hope for tomorrow's cars and what they will and that they will all be updated with safety features and standards instead of options. Now, I want to show you what is possible for the future of rear seat safety in the US. Now, because these safety features already exist in European cars, after seeing what is possible for the future of rear seat safety, imagine a world in which safety is the priority and not a luxury that costs lives. Be a squeaky wheel and write to your representative and wear your seatbelt always. So some examples are rear seat safety alarms, overhead alarms when seatbelts are not fastened or when they have been undone to the driver instead of just the passenger. Oops. Rear seat safety alarms, dashboard alerts and alarms when rear seatbelts are not fastened. Rear seat safety, futuristic airbags for rear passengers, not just for front passengers also, and all-inclusive passengers. And to finish off, like I said before, be the squeaky wheel. Write letters to your Congress and make this a pressing issue to help feature cars and to help make security a standard, not a luxury item. Thank you.